Welcome to the Good Intentions Show. I'm Tim Ray, your host, and we are broadcasting on the UI Media Network, sponsored by the United Intentions Foundation. And today, I have a very special guest, Cristin Zegers, and she is a life coach and many other talents too, which we're going to find out about today. And so, Cristin, welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you've been on the show, I think at least once, if not a couple of times, and you just what you're doing is remarkable. And I love your story. As we know about life coaches, which are popping up everywhere, and I think that's the best sign ever. It tells me people are finding that light within, and now they feel so overwhelmed they want to share with others, right? So, but your story is a little bit unique, and I want you to share with the viewers of how you fell into this and understood what you felt like you were lacking and what was missing in your life, and give us a little a past view of what your life was prior to becoming a life coach.
Okay.
That you're willing to share to millions of people.
I grew up in Massachusetts, and I would ride my bike to the beach, and in the winters I'd build igloos in the snow, and I was the oldest of 4 kids and just kind of took on that mama bear role. I'd take everybody out in little adventures into the woods. I grew up on conservation land, and I just kind of started at some point, where is it, like in elementary school, middle school, where you start to kind of lose the way of the child path and start to...
Reality starts beating its ugly head onto our lives, where we lose our innocence and
you get these messages of what you're supposed to do with your life.
Right.
And so I did all those things. I did great in school, went to college, did great in college, moved to Atlanta, started building that resume, and was doing all the things, but was working 60, 70-hour weeks and in work that I just wasn't passionate about. And then I became a mom. And when I became a mom, it just all shifted for me. And I just couldn't rationalize leaving my baby to go do something that was so out of alignment with my own values. And so that's when I said, what is it that I love and I'm passionate about that I can do on my own time and do for myself? And that's when I started studying feng shui and different energy modalities, eventually aromatherapy.
Well, it seems like when there's a lack, a void, let's say, of maybe even a spiritual void or some type of non-purpose, you look at people looking for purpose, that this void motivates you to try to fill, and you decided as a mother at that point, well, you know what, I'm not being fulfilled, and this is not the way, and so let me try something new. And so you said feng shui, and most people would fill their lives with something else other than something they called feng shui. So, but do you believe that brought you onto your spiritual path?
Yeah, I think actually motherhood was what started it. I became this total earth mama when I got pregnant and the first time, and then from then on, I kind of came back to that connection to the earth again. And that's what I love about feng shui, is that it looks at the life energy of the environment and of nature around us and teaches us how to emulate that in our interior environments. And then over time, I realized that it actually gave us messages on how we could work with our spirits, how we could connect to our true essence.
So feng shui, so I'm trying to understand exactly what it is. I think you just explained it, so a little over my head. But so it's life energies, life energy sources that are out there naturally, and we learn to model that to bring it into our own home environment. Yeah,
feng shui is the study of that life. They call it qi, right?
Oh, okay.
For yogis, it's prana.
Sure,
there's different ways that you can look at that life force energy.
Right.
It's whatever it is that spark in your eye,
Yes. Okay.
And that's all in the natural world, moving all around us all the time and all through us. And feng shui teaches us that we have a connection. Our personal energy is connected to the environmental energy. So it's important for us to pay attention to what we surround ourselves with.
So when we get back from break, let's talk about that. Let's talk about specifically what this energy may look like, feel like, smell like, maybe beyond our five senses? And if so, how do we measure it? And why it's so important to understand it too, at least in your life, okay? We're talking to Cristin Zegers, and she's a life coach and a feng shui expert. Can you be a feng shui expert? I don't know, maybe so. We're gonna find out, so stay tuned, we'll be right back. Hi, my name is Tim Ray. I'm the founder of the United Intentions Foundation at unitedintentions.org. Everything is energy, and that's all there's to it. Match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. There can be no other way. And this is not philosophy, this is physics. Now, I just gave you a quote from, not me, but from Albert Einstein. He said a long, long time ago. So what does he mean by matching your frequency of the reality you want to experience? First, you have to realize that not only as humans, but everything is made up of energy. And at an atomic level, everything's vibrating at certain frequencies. Even on a collective level, we're vibrating at a certain frequency. This is very important to know. And once you understand that, you're closer to understanding what Einstein meant by matching our reality and matching the frequency. You'll have that experience. Stay with me here, because our thoughts, feelings, and emotions vibrate at specific and unique frequencies. There's a physical phenomenon going on and with our thoughts and feelings, and we have to realize that whatever state of being that we create through our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, we will attract that experience. That's the law of attraction. So it behooves us to choose our thoughts carefully, at least be aware of our state of being, because that's the experience we will have. Learn more at unitedintentions.org and begin manifesting your passions one intention at a time. Welcome back to the Good Intention Show. I'm Tim Ray, your host, and we are talking to Cristin Zegers, and she is a feng shui expert. Let's find out if she is. Cristin, so you're explaining feng shui, what it means. Feng shui, that's such a funny word. Is it a Chinese word?
Yes.
Okay, man.
It means wind and water.
Wind and water. Oh, interesting. What energy, right? And so there is an energy. There's let's just say an invisible energy going on around us, within us, everywhere. Some people, you mentioned chi energy, and I would assume it's a very subtle energy, because if it was very obvious, we'd probably feel it. Our five senses would pick up on it. So five senses can't pick up on it, or what? How does this work? That you know.
I like to think of it as a feeling, as a knowing.
Okay.
Right? There's
a sixth sense.
There's an intuitive nature to it. A lot of times when I work with people in their homes in looking at the energy flow of their homes, they've actually done some good intuitive feng shui. There's a nice even flow of energy that moves with how they have their furniture placed, and how you move through your space. But it's a way to bring intention into your design. It's a way to bring intention and your goals into your home and your environment, so you can kind of have physical anchors for what it is you're trying to manifest for yourself.
Okay, so physical anchors, define that. So if I have an intention, I want to manifest something in my life, and I'm doing most of my intention work in my home, right? And so for me to see the end result or the realization of my intention, you're saying that the understanding and use of this chi energy, this energy, right, can be amplified to assist in the manifestation by the arrangement of my furniture.
Sure.
Yeah, listen,
there you go.
Wow, I did it. So
there are different life energies that resonate, like vibrational, right?
Okay,
everything is energy.
Yes.
There's three principles to feng shui.
Yes.
Everything is energy, everything is connected, and everything is constantly changing.
Right.
So it's an interplay with your space and your own personal energy. So let's say you have a health goal that you want to work on. And there's a certain area of your home where that same vibrational energy of good, abundant health lives.
Okay.
Based on certain parameters. There's a lot to get into, but so you can go to that space in your home and you can look at it and assess the amount of clutter you might have there. You can use certain colors, shapes, patterns, materials to enhance the energy of that space, and you can just work with your intentions in that place in your home so that every time you go there, you're reminded of what that health goal is, and you make choices in alignment with that.
So when you rearrange and you move the clutter or you get rid of the clutter or whatever the case may be, the act of moving energy around takes away that stagnant sense of staleness. I don't know, how would you describe it?
Yes, absolutely. And we experience that within ourselves too. Like when we're in a state of overwhelm or we have mental fog and we're seeking clarity, dealing with our physical clutter is a great way to kind of proactively go and start to create some space, right? There's lots of metaphor when you work in feng shui, but I'm sure you can think of a time when you like cleaned out a closet or your garage or something like that, and you just want to keep going back and looking because it's like, it feels so good, right? That's the connection. And you've probably been to places where you walk in, like to an institutional building or something, and you can't wait to get out of there. That's the energy of the space that's affecting you personally.
So it's not so much doesn't have to be the person's energy. It could be. It could be
because everything's connected.
Everything's connected, but it could be that plus whatever energy's been or item's been affected by that energy too in that room or just the organization. So you must have a hard time walking into any room and just going, oh my God, I gotta bite my tongue. This is just this is not working for me. You know, if I'm gonna sit here in the interview, this better be over here. Do you get that compulsive ever or?
Not anymore.
Oh my God!
Not anymore. But I do.
This is a new DSM-3 diagnosis we're going to be discussing here. The feng shui disorder. So tell me, tell me, like, what happens when you feel like this would be so much better over here. You have to subtly convince the person without them kind of realizing what's going on, or
well, that's kind of where my life coach skills come in, right? You can't coach somebody that doesn't want to be coached.
Yes,
So I ask permission.
Right.
Are you interested in learning how you might be able to welcome some more positive energy flow in the space? Because we can move some stuff around.
Well, I'm just without I know this is probably unfair to ask you here on live here, but what about in this area here, is there anything, outside of the clutter of all the equipment on the floor and anything that you would rearrange differently in this room?
Well, we are actually sitting right now in the fame and reputation area of this room.
Fame and reputation?
Fame and reputation.
And that was labeled by?
Ancient Chinese centuries ago.
All right. Well, listen, when we get back, we're gonna find out exactly, sitting at the fame and you said what, reputation. Us sitting in the fame and reputation right here in these spots, what that means, and I don't think I'll ever leave now. So good to know. We'll be right back. We'll see you in a second. Hi, I'm Tim Ray, founder of the United Intentions Foundation. I want you to imagine a world where bullying doesn't exist. Or how about your child wakes up in the morning and is grateful for everything they have, or they actually believe in himself or herself. On top of that, imagine this. Imagine your child understands that their thoughts and feelings create what they experience. All this is possible with our Imagine If program. And it's all about social emotional learning, showing children how their thoughts and feelings create what they experience. To learn more, go to imagineifprogram.org.
What if you could have whatever you desired with a simple thought? Wishful thinking? Science has proven that thoughts can change our reality. Join the movement and be part of an interactive virtual community that helps you take control of your life through the power of intentions. Learn to create the life you desire, one intention at a time. Sign up today for your free account and start creating.
Hi, I'm Tim Ray, founder of the United Intentions Foundation. And how would you like to have a formula for manifesting whatever you want in your life? You think it's that easy? Well, maybe not that easy, but you could start out with this. Understanding that it's all about creating a state of being. Your state of being, how you act throughout your day, how you feel about yourself throughout the day, and being conscious of that in any given moment. And understanding these three principles: repetition, expectancy, and meaning. And adding those three principles into your life could change and create the state of being that you would need to actually manifest what you want. Remember, repetition, expectancy, expecting what you really want, repeating what you want, and also adding meaning to what you want creates that state of being, a fertile land and fertile soil for you to attract what you truly want to experience. To learn more, go to unitedintentions.org. Welcome back to the Good Intention Show. I'm Tim Ray, your host, and we're sitting here talking to Cristin Zegers. And wow, I'm finding out a lot here. So your intuition calls this room right here the Fame and Reputation? Or like
Where we're sitting within this room.
Okay, because now, in all fairness, Cristin was here before. She actually feng shuied our whole office space. And so she has a little bit of a history here. So why don't you explain a little bit of this, and then we'll go around the different rooms and share some insight on that. Okay.
Well, I think it's appropriate to be sitting in Fame and Reputation.
Absolutely.
To do this type of work. This is a very fiery area. You've got your star, which is kind of a fire element. I might recommend a couple other things back here to help enhance that. But it's a way to bring awareness to the people that you interview and to your program itself. It's a great way, you're putting yourself out there in the world to teach and guide people. I think this is a perfect place for this setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as we move forward to the cluttered technological closet room that that our crew here live in, how do you describe that? You said it was what does that symbolize?
In this particular space, so there's a map that you lay over the floor plan of your space. And that's in the health and family area of the United Intentions headquarters.
Right next
United Intentions headquarters.
Right next to the kitchen.
Yes.
That is the family. That's where people go with the microwave or whatever, which is not healthy anyway. But no, we got rid of the microwave. We only have a toaster oven. There's no more microwaves in here.
Good.
So,
that's good.
So it is like the public family area. So what do we do? What does that mean?
From what I understand, it tends to be the place that gathers the clutter.
Yes, it's like a magnet, honestly.
Yes, isn't it interesting how there are some places, and that is a really great way. This is how you can tie in your own personal work with the clues you get from your environment, from the energy in your environment. If there's one place that's always collecting clutter, a lot of times it's garages, like I mentioned, laundry rooms, under your bed, things like that. It's good to understand what life energy kind of lives in that space. So if you were to go in and clean and clear that storage room, it might open up some good health energy for the people that work here. That area pertains to family and like ancestry and kind of where you came from. So if that's something that you're looking to dig into and kind of heal or grow within yourself, then that's a good place to go and start working.
See, to me, honestly, that actually sounds more inviting than sit down and just meditate about something. I'd rather go do something in action and where I'm doing something. Because there is, when you are cleaning out and you're throwing out and you're organizing, to me it's usually, wow, this won't last long, but the act of doing it is a cleansing process, isn't it?
Absolutely. It can be really emotional too. People are very emotionally attached to their things. And there's all sorts of questions to ask around that. That's where, again,
Well,
the coaching skills come in.
Well, coach me on this, coach. This is my first question, is that my first thought is that, well, when I pick something up, I go, I don't need this right now, but I'm about to throw it away. I'm like, oh no, because I probably may need it sometime in the future. I'm sure that's a common statement when people are in the process of feng shuiing their scary area. So what does that mean? What does that symbolize? How do you take that? Where do you take that?
And that's when I start to talk to people about a scarcity mindset. That lack mentality.
Lack of abundance, because the universe is abundant.
The universe is abundant.
But you're not living by the abundance because you're like, I may need this later.
Yes. It's kind of a fear that if I let it go, then when I need it, I won't have it. And maybe I won't have the resources I need to get it again.
God, is there anything not symbolic of just living life? Wow, I mean, that's pretty impressive. I've never thought of that. What are some common experiences people have in the feng shui experience when they're cleaning up that could symbolize something else?
Clutter is one of the big things. And that's one of the things that people really come to me with, and they might come to me because they're in a state of overwhelm or they need to make a decision and they just don't know what the right next move is. Right. And I ask them to look at their environment. Sometimes they come to me for the environment and they say, I can't get a handle on my stuff. And then I ask them about what's going on in their lives, So people come to me for different things, but clutter is usually one of the clues that tells me where there's work to be done.
And where the clutter is just as important, right?
Absolutely.
Because if clutter was in their fame and reputation room, we'd have some serious problems.
Yes.
I have to say, Cristin, when you did come here and feng shui the place and we fixed it up and everything, there was more opportunity for us. It seemed like there's a lot more people were attracted to us. And now it could have been just nice new painted walls, or was there seriously an energy shift, It's kind of hard to measure, but you've seen it over and over again in your work and what you're doing, and you're confident without a doubt that it was an energy shift.
Well, it changes the way you feel in your space. And when you feel different, when you feel more inspired, when you feel more confident, you show up in the world differently. And so that's the interplay, the interrelations between all of that. Did you feel better?
Oh, absolutely.
And more clear, more energized when you're not buried under piles of papers and,
right. Yeah, even when Daniel was here and had told us to fix our bathrooms up in the other office, after we did that, hours soared, people were happier. I mean, it's just things changed.
Yes.
And
well, any sort of plumbing issues can deal with money outflowing and not coming back in. Those are all things you want to tend to right away.
So why are we not being taught this in school?
The same reason we're not being taught how to maintain our cars and
Check
boil
books.
an egg and manage credit, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you think that they would put this into that type of, some type of curriculum, and I'm sure they do in some open-minded and progressive schools, or universities or whatever that else may be. But I think it's wonderful, and you're enjoying every minute of this. Do you ever get tired of feng shuiing people and their houses?
No. People become resistant. People can be resistant to it.
Right.
You have to be willing to do the work.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
And it's a practice too. I'm the first to admit that I need to do my own feng shui polish-ups all the time.
So what's with the lazy part of that? Because there has to be some level of procrastination and not wanting to feng shui or fix up or, clear out clutter in your house or in certain rooms that are important to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like upper limit problems, right? Like you want to grow. Why do we procrastinate? We know what we have to do to get what we want in life. Why don't we do it?
Yeah.
There's blocks and stories and all sorts of things that need to be unpacked in order to kind of clear the path for that.
Huh, very interesting. So in my house, I would assume, not in my house, anybody's house really, I would assume that the bedroom being more of a sanctuary type. How would you describe the bedroom in feng shui?
Yeah, the bedroom's really important in feng shui.
Okay, why?
Yeah, it's a sacred space. It's first of all, it's one of the only rooms in your house for most people, unless you live alone, that's really your space, and it should be designed for rest, restoration, and romance.
Right.
That's what I say.
Right.
So
throw the TV out.
Yeah, their electronics really don't have a home in the bedroom. Besides the fact that they create more energy, right? There's the EMFs that are bouncing around and can affect your sleep and your health and all of that. It's nice to have as clear a space in there as you can. And mirrors too bounce energy around. So keeping mirrors out of the bedroom is a good idea as well.
No kidding. Well, there goes vanity, right? So you got the bedroom, which is more of a, how would you describe it? Like, these call this the fame and reputation room, but would that be more of the sanctuary?
It depends on where it falls on your floor plan.
I gotcha. Okay. Wow. I gotta get you to come out to the house. So, okay, that's feng shui. Let's talk a little bit about aromatherapy.
Okay.
And I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it smells like it'll be something good, right?
Yes.
And so I think in the next segment we'll probably get into more aromatherapy too. But I want to kind of just touch about what it actually is for right now.
Okay, that life force energy that we talked about.
The chi energy.
Yeah, the essential oils are the life force energy of the plants that they come from.
So when I buy all that doTERRA oils, that's life force energy.
If it's extracted properly with integrity, to maintain the integrity of that. Yes, there's very distinct ways to do it where you don't break down the certain elements of the essential oil so that they can work the way that they're designed to work by nature.
Just use the whole root. Why have to take the extract out?
Well, it's like it's taking that spark that's in our eye out of the plant and using that, and that essence is what works with our essence to create a better sense of harmony in our bodies, minds, and spirits.
It almost feels like we're stealing the soul of this plant. I don't know if I like this.
Oh, it's in service. We're not stealing anything.
So, well, you've been listening to Cristin Zegers, and she's a life coach, aromatherapist, a feng shui expert, and many more talents too, and a fantastic mother. So thank you for coming in. I really appreciate that.
Thanks, Tim.
All right. And so remember, your thoughts create your reality. And if you want to change your reality, change your perception. Until next time, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.